Today we're going to take a few minutes to show you how to use Accu-scene Groundcover to get the most realistic model train layout you can have. What you're looking at here is my model train layout. This is a 3-rail layout, and this is a yard scene. I have a sawmill in the background here, a lumber sawmill, and then there's a shed over here and a road leading up to the shed. And just about all of the ground areas on this layout are made with Accu-scene Groundcover, either by itself or as a base for a ground cover topping. And the reason we use Accu-scene Groundcover is to give depth and texture to the ground on the layout so that it looks more like it's real ground, which is what most of us are looking for today. Now, just to start off, I just want to show you where the Accu-scene Groundcover is. Here's the roads built with that, and the Accu-scene Groundcover is just glopped down with the offset spatula. Sits smoothed out, allowed to dry, and then about 4 hours I come back and put some tire tracks in the road to make it look more realistic. And then the ground cover takes a total of about 2 or 3 days to dry, depending on the humidity in the air. And that's what your road will look like after you've built it. Now, also on this layout, these areas here, these ground areas, have as a base Accu-scene Groundcover, and it's just spread down, made to look rough or smooth or hilly, depending on whatever you want. And then on top of it you sprinkle whatever ground cover topping you want to use. I sell several ground cover toppings: green grass and leaves, shredded leaves, and you can also use other products such as colored sawdust that other people sell if you want to use those. And then you put other things on top of your layout, like bushes. These are some of my Accu-scene bushes, trees with bases. And if I use the trees that I don't have bases, I just drill a hole in the layout, put a little glue on there, and then stick it in the hole. Of course, those trees can't be moved if it's done like that. I also have trees with movable bases. I'm just going to take a minute and show you how easy it is to use the ground cover. This is what the ground cover looks like in the can. This is dirt brown color. There's also grassy green color. And basically what you do is you just glop some of it on with an offset spatula, like I'm doing here. Put it down here, and then say if we wanted to extend the road right here, I've glopped some down here, and then you just smooth it out. That's all you do. Let it dry. As I said, come back in about 4 hours if you want to add tracks or make it a little smoother than maybe it already is. It's kind of hard to smooth out through a camera here, but it actually smooths out quite easily. And then once it dries, let it dry for 2 or 3 days. Then of course you're going to come back and add final touches like ballast around the tracks and other ground areas next to the road. This is a ground area I built next to the road. I put down Accu-scene Groundcover, and then I sprinkled on top of it my shredded leaves. Okay. You can see over here I've just extended this a little bit. This is the ground cover area here. I just allow that to dry. Build it whatever shape you want. You want it in hills or something like that, or flat, or just with ridges. Doesn't make any difference. And then you would just take and put your ground cover topping on top of that and let it dry. Then you can harden that off with a mixture of white glue, water, and dish soap. Sprinkle that on top of this, let it dry, and you have a realistic scene that you can even add more detail to. And that's kind of what it looks like. Now you'll see here an area where I had some switches that I wanted to put something around to make them look better on the layout. So I just covered this area with the Accu-scene Groundcover, built it up over a couple of days because it will shrink if you put it on real thick. So I just put some on, allow it to dry a little bit, put more on, build it up for a while, and then when you get it built up enough, just let it dry, paint it, and there's your little switch areas for your blocks once it's dry. And that's pretty much how you use this, and that's what it looks like. And I've got a couple other areas on my layout I'm going to show you what it looks like on different areas and different scenes that I've used it on. There's another little area that has a tree with a movable base. This is a bridge abutment that I build with Accu-scene Groundcover. I just built up this area, and while it was still wet, I put these wooden trestles in it and allowed them to dry, built it up a little bit more, and then painted it. This is really easy to do, and I did this all along my raised rail here. I built these bridge abutments for the trestles to stick into. So you can see what this looks like. Here's another area I built with Accuscene products. This is a fair scene with trees. Accu-scene Groundcover is the base for this. And then sawdust, green sawdust ground cover sprinkled on top. Some of my trees again. A few people walking around. And you can see again there is a bridge abutment with a trestle sticking into it in the background. This is another yard scene I built with Accu-scene Groundcover used as the base. This is the ground cover here with the topping on top of it, ballast, and then this is my Accuscene blacktop road built with my Accuscene blacktop product. Once again, another diorama area where I have shovels scooping up coal on the side of a mountain. That was all done with Accuscene Groundcover. In this case I used styrofoam first to build the mountain and then covered it with Accuscene Groundcover and a topping. And then of course you see the dirt and grassy areas. Once again, here's a mountain area that I built with Accuscene Groundcover and a topping, some bushes. This is Gargrave's track. Accuscene Groundcover as a base layer and then a topping on top of that. And then another lumber yard in the background here with roads in it using my Accu-scene blacktop. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy modeling!